The path you have never done in Hearts of Iron 4, because it's terrible. There are many paths in Hoi 4 where you give away your nation to your neighbors, become a puppet of the Axis or the Soviet Union, and then spend the rest of the game as a support character. Cool roleplay. It'd be fun for multiplayer. But in single player, it has you scratching your head thinking, why would I ever pick this? Well, today we will. And I will tell you, is it any good? Is it worth your time? Or were you right all along? My first Let's Play of Latvia. Hey, you one Latvian fan. This is your moment. Boom. Focus tree. It's pretty good. And then we have this focus. Ostland. The Germans have a design for a single united state of the Baltics and some regions of eastern Poland. Although their vision of Ostland places Baltic Germans at the top of the hierarchy, there is no reason why we shouldn't capitalize on the plan and create an Ostland of a Latvian design. Right, you become a puppet of Germany. You give up most of your land to get it back from Germany and then make Latvians a second-class citizens. Wow! Why would you ever want to do this? It's almost like that's the whole point of this video. You come to my videos for answers. Like, what is the best tank division in Hearts of Iron 4? Oh, wow. This can work. This is Deep Agent. It's like having a top-tier Hearts of Iron 4 meta helper who never sleeps. Need help designing division templates, figuring out new meta strategies, or even organizing your complex Hoi 4 mod ideas? That's right, the complexity of modding. Deep Agent's got you covered. It can plan playthroughs, script my videos. It's a game changer. But it's not just Hoi 4. Writing, scheduling, browsing websites, downloading images, or even putting together presentations and detailed websites. You can connect Gmail, Jira, and Slack and create tickets, read emails, post messages. You just tell it what you need. Deep Agent allows you to create complex tasks that require many different prompts, such as making this entire game with just one command. You get 3 tasks per month for $10, or you can go pro tier for $10, more tasks per month. This also includes Chat LLM, which is an all-in-one, one super assistant for chat, image, and video generation. Check it out at deepagent.abacus.ai. Link in the description. Thanks to Deep Agent for sponsoring this video. Yes. It starts. Suspend the Constitution. We're going to disband our entire army, apart from a single division. Delete the one boy. And we're going to exercise him indefinitely. First things first, we need to get the industry going. And then we must prioritize our help for the Axis. In that case, we are going to be a plain dude. Which is weird because we've not got the resources for it, but it is what it is. Currently on toaster economy, so that means we're going to make a little bit of infrastructure. Where are most of our building slots? I'm going to take a guess. Capital? Actually, no. These 2 regions. Boop, boop. Also, it's a good place to check if you get more steel. And you do not get more steel. Haha! The nation without resources does not gain any more further resources. Boo. It's a strange thing to do, but I'm going to try and sell as much of my stuff on the market as possible. Are we part of any market? Market access. Yes, we're in the kind of the allies non-aligned market, which is a really good market to be in. In that case, we're just going to sell everything at a high price. Old guns as well. You know what? Yeah. Does anyone want to buy? Yes, they do. The Thais and the Yugoslavs. Auto accept. This generates economic capacity surplus, which is a construction bonus, which is very, very handy at the very start of the game to get your construction going. Oh, we don't have much of an economy, so it's not going to make much difference. Ooh. Do you know what does make a difference? Subscribing to this YouTube channel. I salute you. And like that, the Constitution is gone. Empower the paramilitarists. If you're ever a bit confused at the start of the game in Hoi 4, what you always want to do is just do your politics path, which is usually on the right side. Can be on the left sometimes. And then when you reach a point where you can't progress any further, do what you need, and in the meantime, do your military or your industry. One thing also to be aware of is that you are going to change ideology, so be very careful who you select, because some of these advisors may disappear. It's usually more safer to change ideology first, then mobilize, then select your advisors. Otherwise, just sit on the political power. Trust me, you'll get to spend it anyway. If you want to be super big brain and super smart, yeah, sure, you can do a test run and find out what advisors you keep and which ones you lose. That's a surefire way of making sure you don't lose any valuable resources. Empower the paramilitarists. And we have the sun shines equally for boo democracy, boo, or Latvia for Latvians. Nothing bad can come of this. Oh, what's that? Is that an eagle? Oh boy. Beware! It does say here, this may cause a civil war by going for this focus based on 55% support for the this ideology. Brown ideology of the pie chart. But if we do have a civil war, our nation is so unbelievably small, and we have control of our armed forces with that single division, it shouldn't be a problem. Concentrated industry. We are very small, so it benefits us more in the short term. Planes. Now, buy all the parts to the planes. Get the plane engine DLC, and then the plane machine gun DLC, and the plane torpedo DLC. Yay! Okay, we're gonna go for raw numbers. I don't usually do the left path, but today we will. Boom, 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 boom. Queue them all up. It's usually a good idea to start manufacturing planes, but we lack a gun. That's right, we have invented the gun, the machine gun, on our divisions, but we don't have a machine gun for a plane. Which, you know what? I'll let that one slide. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. You need the technology to fix a specific kind of machine gun to a plane. So it makes sense, trust me. Do you trust me? Then consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Go on. Go on. Lift the ban on the brown ideology. To be fair with you, I feel like I actually want to fire the Civil War early. You will get natural spread of your ideology through the inner rebellion of the fascists inside of your government. Right? You are a very small nation, very insignificant, makes no value on the world stage, but you have internal political problems. Balance, what's that? Engine 1 is followed by light machine gun 1. Okay, so this will put us over 55% support, so this will cause a civil war. So what I'm going to do is delete this single division. He's generating 22 XP, so he's worth his value. And this is going to fire a civil war, which I want. Because this is good, because this is a really easy fire way of flipping ideology quickly. We're over 55%. This will activate the mission if you're over 55%. Oh, we're 54%. That's kind of annoying. I suppose we could go for another ideology. The old ways. Or the Latvian military complex. We'll do the old ways. Okay, we can fight them if we want to. But we don't want to fight them because we need the ideological support. Okay, concentrate industry 2. I'm going to reach the point now that I don't think I'm going to have enough industry to be able to build infrastructure, so we're just going to have to make do with what we got. All right, at least we're building at a 50%, 100% construction rate based upon having the infrastructure. Meanwhile, guns, they're a thing. And also, meanwhile, engines, they're a thing. Now Mayos are free, thank goodness. We can start producing and upgrading. But, watch this, will cost us 1 air XP, which we do not have. So, we'll have to go back to that one, won't we? Latvia in flames. This will cause a civil war. We are for a stronger Latvia. This will split the nation in 2. We now have a bit of XP, which is all planned. And this will allow us to train a very small division, which in this case will be a single horse, which is very useful because you know what we use single horse for? That's right, we use single horse for garrison divisions. 2-for-1 special. Boom, the old ways. Now we can do fun things like, wow, total mob. Now that is super tempting, but I don't have much manpower, so what good is that going to help me with? Anyway, army offense. We are an attacking Latvia. We don't have an army, so the army has not been split, so nothing has been lost through this endeavor. As you can see right now, we only have 2 national spirits, and they are both positive. I really like you. Your face looks very familiar. I feel like I've met you. Can we be friends? Align with the German. Need to wait for these guys to be 20% trained, then we can deploy them immediately and just send them on the front lines, and that is the shortest civil war ever. And this is kind of how you glitch every civil war in Hoi4. The only nations you can't really do this with are nations that are very large, like the Soviet Union. I mean, you can still kind of do it, but it just is less effective. And you just queue them up. And then that would be the shortest civil war ever. Convert to infantry, move to the capital region, sign to a general. Off you go. Still building in this region, so we still have control of it, so that's good. All right, here we are. We have popular resistance. Okay, so Paradox has remembered to give you this back. But luckily now, we're more balanced on our war support and our stability, so I'm a lot happy with that. You know, these focus trees, these little mini ones that I got have really nice big bonuses in them. These are my favorite focus trees. If every nation in the game had a focus tree like this, I'd be very happy. I think the very, 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 very big ones were like, I don't know, lots of 35-day focuses, which I know the community likes, but I personally don't because I just think that the bigger focuses than they need to be. Just think about it. You've got 2 35-day focuses that give 1 civilian factory or a 70-day focus that gives 1 civilian factory. Well, end of the day, I'm doing focuses for the bonuses, right? Bigger is not always better. My girlfriend tells me. Welcome to the Axis. So interesting things like here, like the keepers and then state paganism. Surely the Germans would not be happy with that, but they were into the occult, weren't they? So maybe they would be into that. Free the Gurgis. Yeah, free those guys. Next up, we're going to go for ground support. Yep. And gives ticking air XP. Boom. Only 1 XP needed. And then we start making planes. This is important to do quite early on because it allows you... Yeah, well, an engine. Bigger engine as well. It allows you to start producing the planes, which then allows you to upgrade the Mayo. Boom. Take the Mayo. That is a fantastic aircraft. And 1 military factory will do to begin with. And as you can see now, this is gaining you XP. 1% every month. No, it's not gone up by 1% yet. Okay, maybe less than a month. But on the plus note, we do have an Air Force now. Boom. Deploy it. You do not have enough manpower. Noted. Maybe we want to delete half these divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete them. Meanwhile, upgrade the plane once again. And now you can auto-upgrade, and this will give you a free upgrade, which is great. Top it off, the Maya upgrades will be automatically as well. So, win-win. As you can see, I'm selectively deleting divisions that have not got any special medals. We freed the Yugis. To top it off now, we can now promote Baltic fascism. Nice. Or we can go for the lightning strikes, which causes you to demand annexation of your neighbors. I feel like that's a bit of a no-brainer. Do I want to democratically convert them ideologically, or do I just want to steamroll them? I feel like the steamroll option feels better. Alternatively, though, it allows us to consecrate the Brotherhood, which allows us to create a faction. We're not going to do that, obviously, so we're going to do the lightning strikes. I've heard that artillery is like the modern thing to go for in modern warfare, so that is what we're going to be researching. We have an Air Force now. Oh, we've got a bunch of free divisions that just magically appeared. Are these different? They are bigger. Once again, I've heard things about bigger things being better. Is it true? I don't know. If you have a big one, please let me know by subscribing to this video, and that's how I know. Promote. There we go. And then I'll pop them in position, like, I don't know, here, so I can build some planning bonus. Planning bonus is free attack, so I'm not going to say no to that, am I? But no supply in the east. I'm going to put them all here, just to make sure I don't overstack supply and then cause supply problems, because that's not fun. All right, radio. Feels a bit weird right now. You know, that we've got the Axis of Germany and then just me on my own in the Axis too. Somehow I've got this idea, like this future prediction, this foreshadowing, that apparently the Axis factory is going to have some success in the 1930s and maybe the early 1940s too. I don't know, just a hunch. Just a little inkling. Speaking of little inkling, not you, because you're massive. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Okay, I promise that's the last time. Estonians refuse unification, and so do the Estonians. Oh dear. There's some artillery support on, so they actually have a bit of bite. And we'll exercise them all to level 3. We can now declare Ostland, which gains cores on all of Estonia and Lithuania, and gives cores on a bunch of land in Poland too. We're well and truly taking on board those German ideals. Because you know, when you embrace nationalism to the extreme kind, you eventually start to adopt other nationalist nations' ideologies. Actually, you totally do not. You're, the one failure of fascism, isn't it, is that you kind of have a more centric view on your specific ideology and your nation and your ideals. Makes you feel like, oh no, our brand of fascism is the right one, right? Right. Is it, though? It's definitely a better version of Estonian fascism. Are they even fascist? No, they're not. Don't forget to make gaps in front lines, move into them, make encirclements, push. Planning bonus, obviously doing big damage. Top it off now, we need to be thinking about making our armed forces bigger, so trucks is usually the way forward, and also trucks and trains. Think about growing that ideology. Once again, just that little bit extra soft attack from the artillery has made a big difference. Bit of a gap in the front line, so go for it. Don't forget to wrap around and grab all the front lines. Oh, the last standing. Oh, what a silly thing to do. So you're going to go here, and then go around the back. Then we'll grab the capital. We're now Ostland. Yay! And, oh, actually, no, we're not actually a puppet of Germany. I thought you became a puppet on this path. Okay, this path may be stronger than I originally thought. The final push. You know, it is kind of better if you're a minor power to puppet, get war reps, and take their resources. But because this is technically cored land, I don't have any resistance. See, the resistance is dropping to 0 and disappearing. And I will do the same for Lithuania as well. Build the planning bonus up. We have a new plane. Build it. And we need to make it look less like a biplane. There we go. Put the machine guns on it. And a turret. Why not? State-of-the-art Latvian designs. Trust me. It's the future. Just no one's embraced it yet. Range on the planes. I will take that. Probably want to make some civilian factories to boost the economy, but the economy is looking quite healthy right now. When you do unify the Baltics, even though each of them individually are quite weak, unified, they actually are quite strong. I don't know, it's a hint for the future, Baltic members. Maybe you'll be more unified against maybe big neighbors to your east and west if you may be unified. I don't know, just a hint. Apparently they all have a unique national identity, so I don't want to lose that. Is that true, Mr. Latvians? Do you feel you have a unique national identity, so you don't want to lose it? I don't know. Let me know. A bit of a gap in the front line here, so I'm going to take that. Go on. Move forward. There you go. Encirclement. There you go. Go forward. Go on. Remember, the end goal is not really to make encirclements here. It's just to encircle their front lines and grab the victory points. But yeah, did you hear what I just said then? Don't make encirclements, but make encirclements. It makes perfect sense. Think about it. Boom, and that's the end. Usually at the very start of the war, you usually can get a quite easy win. We've got draft dodging. Boo! Usually, if the war ends really quickly, you won't have to take the political power hit. Okay, I'm curious to see if I've got any other cores. So we click on the Soviet Union. No. We're looking on the left side here. Can you see this? We do have a core on the northern part of Poland. These two states, this state, this state. So it's kind of a combination of the Baltics and Belarus. Yeah, just the kind of east of Belarus and the Baltics. We have the Memel too. Are they going to ask for the Memel from me? I could just say no, right? But they might kick us out the faction. All these questions will be answered on this episode. That's right. I don't do two part twos. Can you subscribe to protest against part twos? We also have a option to avenge the ancestors, which says you declare war on Denmark, Sweden. Okay, that's the path if you want to do your own thing, which is very, very foolish. I would not recommend doing that. It kind of looks like this part of the focus tree is actually finished now. Gain more political power, defense on core territory, defense on core territory. There's a lot of defense on core territory. I'm seeing a pattern form. Extra factories, let's do that. Extra 10% construction, I'll take that as well. Okay, our industry right now is really killing it. Once again, for a minor power, where we are in the world, this is actually doing pretty well. The only nation now that has cores on us is going to be the Poles. Probably we want to mobilize a little bit more. Another 10 divisions, shall we say. Check what we need the most, and it is guns. We need industry, steel for that, so we'll get that from France, of all nations. We do F8, you can see the resources we have, and it just appears to be steel, and steel, and steel. And a wise decision, apparently. And steel. Not really the kind of nation that wants to be building planes. But once again, we're doing our absolute best to try and help out the allies in every shape and form, so this is why we're doing this. The Latvian Military Industrial Complex. The Military Latvian Complex. The Military Complex Latvia. I do think this one's got probably a better ring to it. So the two paths is the Ostland, which is basically German fanfic, and then the United Baltic Empire, which is the Baltic Unitary State, which is also a Baltic fanfic. So do you want the German fanfic, or do you want the Baltic fanfic? Today we went with the German. We're going to go with the Divit Keepers, because it gives political power, and that obviously will gain us in the short term leading up to World War II. Oh, spoiler, there's going to be a World War. Because we're going to be a nation that doesn't have a lot of aluminium, well, let's be real, actually, we're going to have no aluminium. We need a technology that's very crucial. And that technology is aircraft construction, which allows us to basically strip our planes away and build them out of wood. Sounds like a terrible idea, but apparently a lot of nations in World War II did it. Britain and Japan did. Apparently wood does offer some advantages for planes. Can you imagine if they made a ship out of wood in World War II? Went backwards, took a step back, you know? Crazy. That radio. That industry. Okay, so F6 shows resistance, and it shows no resistance because they're all cores. There isn't a core map mode in Hoi 4, but the easiest way of doing it is you F6 it, or F7 it, give these two map modes, and it doesn't show anything on the map, meaning that all of it is core territory. Be nice to see cores outside of my land though, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Maybe they'll add that in future. We have more than the focus tree. We do actually have this middle part of the focus tree, which gives stability, an ability to change ideology. I mean, it's like the Prime Minister, I guess. I'm going to be totally real with you. I've not actually checked this part of the focus tree, but apparently it boosts non-align, and it has options to reduce consumer goods, so that's pretty good. But it increases democracy. Do we want democracy? Alternatively, we have the option to boost our industry with 10% factory outputs. I think we'll do that. Aircraft construction. And we add on the slots by say that we're removing things. It makes the planes a lot cheaper as well, so that's also a win. Now, the production penalty for building this is 10%, which is actually pretty good to say that we have no resources to build this. Can you imagine this? Just making a radio out of the things that you need in it? Like, you know, the wiring, the metal, the parts, the circuit board. But you don't have those parts. You just kind of, I don't know, making them appear out of thin air, I guess. Random fact, but in the old days of Hoi 4, you could actually build an unlimited amount of things with no resources. Sure, you get like a 95% penalty, but you could still produce it. I don't know how that works, but it was a thing back in the day. Once upon a time, old days of Hoi 4. Are you old enough to remember that? I do, because I'm very old. Rejoin the railways, and we have the option for 4 civilian factories. Oh, Paradox back in the day were not shy about having one focus that adds lots of industry. They were not shy. Oh, Paradox. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front line of the bulls. There is an expansion opportunity here, which I will be taking. Boom. We have a full army now. God, I feel like I've come a long way from little Latvia. Okay, so it takes about 2 years to pay back the 15% bonus for political power. For 5%, then it's going to take like 6 years, isn't it? You know, that just feels completely pointless. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I might use him, though, for the trade power opinion, though. Because if I need lots of aluminium from, like, Hungary or something, that might be a requirement. So that's something to think about. Meanwhile, infantry expert. We have 39 factories. Now we're 43. God, that's so massive. And then there's another one for 2 civilian factories. Paradox, I love you. Okay, so we're going to basically add some steel to resume the capital. No, it's a region called... it's this one. In that case, building infrastructure is worthwhile because of the resources. Okay, we'll think about that, though. Like stability, so we're going to work on that early. So worker conditions. Probably not something you want to do when you're at war, because you suffer from a penalty to production, which can hurt you in the long run. Okay, I've been given a bunch of divisions here that I can't change and I can't disband. I will admit, say that is one element of Hoi 4 that really, really upsets me. Makes me a little bit sad. Okay, it's time to up the production massively now for the planes. Now we have 6 mills on there. The penalty for production is 22%, which is still not that bad. The reason we're making planes when we don't have the resources is because we need to help out the Axis win the war. And the biggest barrier from the Axis winning is invading the UK and invading the Soviet Union. So if I can do any of those two things to help out, it's going to make a big difference. I don't like to do this too, but I'm actually feeling more of a multi-use aircraft. I think torpedoes aren't the way forward, actually. I'm starting to think maybe going for a bomb. Bombs will allow us to do naval strikes, port strikes, close air support. It allows us to do a bit of everything. It particularly isn't the best at any of those things, but it is better for what I'm going to be doing. So I think we're going to have a multi-use aircraft. Something that I tell you guys never to do because it's not usually worth it. But remember, we're Latvia, so... Well, no, sorry. We're Ostland. Okay, get it right. You got to make do with what you've got, okay? And if you've got nothing, well, it is what it is. Well, there's another option to gain more resources in this region, which sorts out my steel problems. God, everything you get is just absolutely what we need. Who balanced this focus tree? I want to give them a kiss. So, extra research slot is somewhat useful. Probably want to go for Axis investments for 10% factory output, which is amazing. The division that's got the same icons upset me a bit, so we'll select you, and therefore we can actually tell them apart now. There you go, it's easier now. Okay, we're going into full civilian factory overload. I think we're going to run out of slots eventually. Hey, it's always good to have more, right? This will put you on total mobilization. Okay, goodbye manpower. We've got a manpower filter here. Can we got any manpower? Baltic Brothers? That's not manpower. Nope, that's not manpower. Okay. Multicultural Latvia. That's not manpower either. Okay, this is totally bugged. The ones highlighted for the manpower aren't manpower. I have been lied to. Appease the Democrats because that boosts stability and war support. The bomb is done. So our multi-task plane will be a bomb lock, which allows us to do air superiority, close air support, interception, naval strike, and logistical strike. Hang on a second. I thought it used to do port strike. No way. They've taken that away? No, it never did port strike, actually. But then again, I never used port strike anyways. Port strike is very risky. You lose a lot of planes, and it doesn't tend to do a lot of damage. You usually can't see that much damage. Visually, it's not very helpful, so I'm not going to do that. No, the planes have arrived. We're exercising to level 3. I am really tempted to justify myself, but I'm probably going to have to join the war with the Germans. We've definitely got the manpower now. Can we maybe recruit another army? No. Big machine guns, and we'll go for the new plane type. Is that going to be worth? We need the artillery. Extra research slot now is going to be very helpful. Extra aircraft designs. Now we need the research slot. You got Axis investments. It reduces consumer goods by 5%, but then it also eliminates your ability to attack the Germans if you wanted to. Why would I do that? The Latvian Autobahn adds infrastructure everywhere and +1 civilian factory. That's actually kind of cool. I like the LARP of that. Anyway, research slots. Germany demands memo. I'm going to say no. And unless they boot me out of the faction, it's not going to do anything, right? No, it's not. Theorist, grand battle plan. And it's important because we need logistical focus. Just realized something else I desperately need as well. Oh, it makes me feel sad realizing it, but I need synthetic oil, which is a very long focus to go for. Otherwise, we're going to need a lot of imports. And imports will eventually break my economy, so that's not good. Going to unite the Baltics. That will basically change the name of my nation, so I don't really want to do that. It begins. Fuel storage. The issue we're going to run into is the land that we get in the Poland War is going to be handed to the Soviet Union under the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. We're going to gain it to instantly lose it. Maybe if we occupy it, it won't trigger the plan, maybe? I don't know. Let's find out. Realize I've not got the Mayo because I need to invite British designers. So you never have a Mayo as Latvia. That really, really, really sucks. Invite British designers. God, it's so far down the focus tree and I never can do it because I've aligned with the Axis. Oh man, that really sucks. Mayos are actually really strong when it comes down to how much stats they can give. So that's actually like a permanent penalty for the rest of the game. Sad. Okay, 8 divisions. I need to remove a few. I don't want to end it with too little manpower. Pop you guys on the front. Hey, invite me to the war, please. Yes. Push. Okay, we push here. Oh, there's actually a gap. Take it, take it. We can occupy the land here that we have cores on. So all the way down to here. All right, now Poland's going to get demolished in record time because they have a new front line that they don't normally have to cover. Pop. And we are given some land. Can I very quickly ask for the land that I've got cores on? This one? No. This one? Yes. So the only one that we didn't get is this one. No! You refuse! Old mechanic is old. But surely giving me this land is more helpful to you, Germany, right? Because it's land that you have to put garrisons in to resist. Oh, mechanics. Anyway, that's getting us a lot of manpower because these areas were cores, so we gain all the manpower, and therefore now we need another 16 divisions. Yeah. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Poland is ours, so get out of here. It's surprising that I actually get offered this. There's a chance they could declare war on me here, so I should be prepared. Off you go. Got on the front. Have they got a war goal on me? They do, and it's only on me. Oh, they don't have on Germany. Hang on, that's really confusing. Why did they offer it to me but not Germany? Is that because I own most of the land? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I own 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's about the same. What? Okay, this time now for full mill production. Boom. And they have declared war on me. Oh. Germany, help me. Help me. Okay, so this is going to be a significantly weaker Germany, but I kind of hope that the Soviets might be a little bit weaker too. Let's not guarantee that one too much, because I don't think that's actually going to be true. Anyway, another emergency 10 divisions deployed. All right, the boys are here now. Put them in position. Full air support. Oh, and here we are. Converting. Okay, it does look like they've hit a wall here. Oh, and the Germans arrived. They're doing damage. Oh, okay. All right, maybe this is going to work in our favor. The only foolish thing right now to do, Germany, would be to declare on the lowlands and push into France all in one go. Two front wars. I've heard a thing that they're not a good thing to do. All right, so this is not usually something the Soviets have to deal with. They have to deal with the full front line against the Germans and the Italians and the Latvians-ish and also the Finns. So this is definitely way more than they normally have to deal with. Maybe potentially here I can find opportunities to exploit this. The way you make life really easy for the Axis is you reduce supply as much as possible. So if I go into the logistics divisions, it's going to be worthwhile. Therefore, the supply you'll use will drop. Therefore, the supply they'll be able to put on the front line will be higher as well. And to be fair, they're the ones with all the firepower. So they're the ones that should be calling the shots. Okay, we're occupying some territory here. We're occupying this land. Okay, so we'll go for brutal oppression and we'll do horse. And we'll prioritize garrisons. That's going to be a lot of manpower. It's going to be a lot of equipment. Doesn't make me feel very good, but it is what it is. All right, front line, build planning bonus, staff office plan. We might be able to make a push here. Bold attack. And we'll go proper heritage to level up our generals. And then we'll go down the left path for the free attack from assault. Planning is king. Our force is not doing very well. The Soviets have just got so many planes. They're not good planes, but they got a lot of them. Right, there's a big push opportunity here, so I'm going to take that. Can we get a good encirclement? The reinforce rate is not very good. I think we need the more advanced radio. Hence the reason why we're going for the research slots. The nation! Remember, we have a lot of defense on core territory buffs, which is really working well for us. Radio 2. And then, is this a province of ours? We still control it, though. And then we push. The supply isn't looking very good, and some divisions are quite low strength, so I think there's opportunity to make a push here. Oh, come on, let's go. All right, this is it. Push. Now, once again, if we cripple them right now, this is a massive front line. And oh, no, I don't like what's happening here. Germany. Why? Okay, steel, desperately need it. Our neighbors, Germany, help us. Okay, big push here. Oh, getting so much territory. Okay, I'm not liking where this is going. The problem is manpower is still going to be an issue. I hit manpower and I get all the wrong information. All right, we've got another option for another air wing, so we'll deploy that. Deploy the 2. We'll exercise you up. Making a gradual push. The planning bonus isn't very high, so I'm probably going to stop for a second. Do a staff office plan. Once again, planning bonus is free attack, so don't turn your nose up here. Plus, we're going to need a little bit of anti-air. Otherwise, I mean, our air force on their own aren't going to be enough to hold back the Soviets, so we got to go. I'm kind of just worried about this at the moment. I like that the Germans, though, have not chose to push into the lowlands. That's very smart of them. But they might change their mind. So once again, don't hold your breath. It's really strange that you've gone down the fascist path on the right, but you still have the democratic options on the left. I think that might be bugged. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's bugged. Latvian socialism. Interesting. All right, planning bonus. We're up again. Another attack, but we'll make sure we select careful, meaning we're only really going to attack if there's a very, very high chance of winning. Okay, so it looks like the Dutch have joined the Allies, or they're about to. Meaning there's another front line to the west. I just noticed that this guy down here, have you seen him? Looks really angry, doesn't he? Bro, chill. It's not that bad. Imagine being Latvian. No, that's not a joke. I love my Latvian viewers. Thank you so much. Those two guys. Planes, off you go. Join the front. We've got more planes now going on, so I'm feeling more confident. Pumping out military factories at a record rate. Here. All the areas with the higher infrastructure, of course. Appear to be bombing us. Are they bombing us? They are bombing us. Ooh, that's going to hurt in the long run. What we'll do in that case is send over one air wing, push them down. Synthetic oil is on the way. We'll do that now. For some reason, I don't seem to be having trouble with oil. Where's my oil coming from? I'm not importing it, am I? No. I have planes up, but yeah, they're not consuming it. I'm not going to complain. Anyway, we want centralized control, and we also need air crews. This reduces doctrine cost. This one increases your range. There we go. They're in position now, and now we're actually combating them, and we'll very slowly whittle away at their strategic bombers. Won't make a massive difference, but we'll be probably shooting them down quicker than they're making new ones, so that's the long-term goal. Logistics wizard. Nice. Get that supply down. Supply depots need upgrading. The economy is straining now. Hence the reason why we bought so many civilian factories, so it was worth it. We've got the Romanians joining our faction. Hungarians soon too. Italians pushing to the Alps, not really getting very far. We've run out of manpower. It was going to happen eventually anyway. The only thing we could do now is probably ask for this land, this one state from Germany. And they are going to say no because we've not contributed enough. We'll come back to that. Okay, the gains we're making right now, I'm actually satisfied with. As a backup, what we should do is get a spy agency and we can form a collab government so we can make them surrender a little bit quicker. Oh, look at this. Leningrad getting pierced from behind, sandwiched between Finland and Latvia. It looks like we're about to get an encirclement on them. Oh god, historical game, guys. Yeah, there's part of the focus which doesn't really make sense. This is the true enemy and it's Germany and the Soviet Union. When you reach this point, none of it really makes much sense. And to be fair with you, all these focuses down here don't make any sense. Okay, we'll go for the Marshal Prime Minister. I have a feeling this might break the focus tree, but we'll see. Strategic destruction, because I want to go down the agility path to give us that advantage in the air. Of course, more doctrines. Yeah, as a minor power, you want to give yourself every possible opportunity to get a leg up, and just those little attack bonuses are going to make all the difference. You know, those little bonuses like Mayos that I don't have access to. That's sad. Hungary's joined the war, so more divisions now. We're going to join the Eastern Front. You can see them all funneling through. Oh, it's so satisfying to see a full encirclement on Leningrad. That's so cool. Right, we're behind on guns. We're working on that. 59 days. Sucks that because that's something that the Axis need a lot of too. So I'd like to funnel my extra guns into Germany, but no can do. First spy onto Moscow. We'll get the first 5 upgrades and get an extra spy. Whoosh! All the time, the Germans and the Soviets are kind of just like a knife's edge when it comes down to who's winning, and you as this one minor power just pushes with a little bit of extra force and you can make them tipple over a little bit quicker than usual. Upping your war support is one way of upping your stability, so if we just give little boosts to war support, we can get over 50% and not get mutinies, which we don't want mutinies. Damn, 35 steel from one state. I'm gonna go for excavation and gain way more. The big push is on. Once again, combined forces of Finland, Germany, and me is enough to just completely topple over Germany. Hey, Moscow is now Estonian. Listen, it is the point of Estonian pride. That is it. We've just found it, okay? There it is. Okay, we've finally reached the point now where we're actually consuming more fuel. So this would be a perfect opportunity to build some refineries. Not many, just a few. Leningrad has fallen. And Moscow has 2. Stalingrad, come on. You can do that too. Come on, I know you can. In this circumstance, you know what I should have done? Bit of a hindsight moment. I should have made a few handful of divisions that have good attack capabilities and not gone for this broad thing. This is a perfect opportunity to make a really strong 36 width tank division and make a spearhead. Because you've got the Germans backing you up on the front line, you can make all the pushes, but the contribution you get might be a lot less, so FYI. Yay! And I finally say yes, which is so awesome. Because that means the resistance now is 35. It will now drop down to nothing because it is a core state of mine. Hence why you should always give your core states to the nation it owns. Somebody don't tell the AI that. If you go F6, you can see resistance map mode, and you can see all this land is core territory. Plus, this one is very slowly reducing resistance down to nothing. This will put us on total mobilization and make us cheaper costs for nationalizing industry. What? What? State capitalism requires... Oh, his plan. Okay, so we can't go down the left plan. We go down the right plan. It's funny because the rest of the focus is really good, but this middle bit here, this democratic path, just seems kind of pointless. There's no democratic opposition anyway. We destroyed it with the Civil War. What about popular resistance? Popular resistance? Yeah, there's no way of getting rid of it because we have to get rid of Constitution. So we permanently got that for life. Oh, this removes democratic opposition, but it doesn't require popular resistance. Okay, I don't know how this works. Okay, another front line. That's not helpful. And the Allies are very slowly pushing further forward. This is not good. Yeah, this is not good. What's happening is the Germans are just not putting enough divisions on this front line, causing issues like this. This is a matter of defeating the Soviets at record pace. Okay, elusive gentleman. Only one of the advisors that I actually have access to. There are no other advisors are actually any good. For some reason, my front lines have disappeared. What? It's all on this front line? 44 divisions? What? We've got Stalingrad. All we need is a collaboration state and it's done. Okay, luckily, Yugoslavia was eaten up pretty quickly, so that might help alleviate this Western Front. This is a matter of life and death, though, isn't it? Okay, we're going to pull all the planes off, send them back home. Always capitulate. And so is Yugoslavia. 2 more front lines have cleared up. That's good. Axis is looking pretty strong. Day training. Exercise. Opportunity for a refinery. Yeah, why not? And then more mills. Fall of Rome. Oh, that's really bad. You gain one thing and then you lose another 2. All right, we're in position now. Let's go, boys. Oh, and the minute you attack, they feel more confident and they push 2. Another front line, but this time it's in our favor. The Axis of the Middle East. Okay, I don't know what's happened, but I'm just going to gain a bunch of guns. It might have been a Lend-Lease. We do need another 12 divisions, though, to just use as a reserve to send to the front in the west. Apparently, there's a war in South America. Oh, it's just the standard one. Okay, never mind. I was kind of hoping someone else would join the Axis, but guess not. The reason why I'm only pushing on my front line here is because this is land that I will take because I'm directly adjacent to it, so I don't have to, like, beg for Germany to ask for land. Oh, it does actually say that we can ask for territory. Oh, no, the minute I click it, they say no. Okay. Okay, there aren't any other victory points here. They're more around about the center of Russia and more to the east. And I think I can start to think about a collaboration state. Yeah, let's do it. Currently, we're at 80% capitulation, so we might be able to cap them without taking in extra land. We just need to wait for the collab states to complete. Meanwhile, Germany's lost 840k. I'm considered a minor power still, which makes me sad. Our contribution is 8%? Really? Hang on, depending on the war. Nope, it's 8% for the Soviet war. And Britain, 2%. I've contributed in Poland. One of the issues with playing minor powers, another one, is that when you lose a lot of manpower, you can't really recover from it. You know, you can go more conscription laws, but then you're hurting your economy in the long run, so it kind of hurts to fight wars, because you could never really recover and keep going. Dave, you're just complaining. Just play the game. Dance, monkey, dance. Perform for me, Dave. Perform. Okay, this front line is pretty solid right now, but there's no gains to be made because none of this is victory points. So we need to work with the Germans in the center and push past the Urals. Go here, get them into position, Control B to railroad them, staff office plan. Only issue is the lack of supply here is really bad. But it might give the Germans confidence to make another push. Okay, running out of building slots, so more concentrated industry to gain more of those slots. All right, whoosh. And as we push, the Germans activate their battle plan too. Maybe we can crack Kazan and gain more supply depots. We'll be in a good spot. I'm going to right-click here and go over here because this is a supply depot. And that allows us to have another checkpoint to push further eastward. Okay, we're about to lose Italy, which is big. Never mind front lines, but this is losing Italy is just practically endgame. Now, these 12 divisions are going to make all the difference now because these are going to be the buffer against. Is this front line the problem? No, actually not. The big front line that's the problem right now is this one. So I'm going to have to help out the Italians. If we can prevent the Italians from having a civil war, this is going to be a game changer. Boom. We can have the Air Force too. Okay, the economy is looking a lot better now. Aluminium's still the problem. Rubber is something we can focus on. So this one, another refinery. And then to top that off as well, we'll get more rubber from rubber processing. +1 rubber per factory. Well, refinery. Once again, just a minor push in Italy, and we managed to push them back. Good. And the Air Force is making a massive difference. However, we are losing a crap ton of planes because the quality of them is not very good. This might have to be one of those instances where I have to do a big U-turn and focus on air superiority before I can do... Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Never mind. It was a nice try. It was a nice try, but we have to focus on actual stats over our ability to do multi-purpose bombers. Only nations that can do multi-purpose, they've got big industry at the start of the game. Unfortunately, I do not have that luxury. Meanwhile, more air control, anti-air. Logistics 2. This is always the point where the Axis struggle. They reach a point where they're like got no supply. They need to build supply depots to push further. Like, well, what can you do at this point? I guess you have to build the supply depots, I guess, don't you? You can't grab Kazan and grab blah, 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 blah. Then you will have no supply. My favorite comment I get in my videos quite regularly is, you can't pronounce blah, 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 blah. Hee hee, that made me laugh. I feel like I get one of those for every single nationality, for every language around the world. Congrats, that's right. I don't speak your local language, unfortunately. Sorry. I do not have time to crack open a book on Finnish and pronounce Finnish place names accurately. I'm so sorry. Dutch have arrived and made an interesting push into Germany. Luckily, the Germans have arrived and they're helping out, but they have pulled some troops off the Eastern Front. It looks like it's going well, right? But then you really dig deep into it and you're like, I don't think this is going too well. Okay, more Middle East shenanigans. Just creating a new front line for the Soviets, which is really good. Okay, that is the one province that we need. If we can get that one province, it's going to be all good for us. Realize we have a new capital for Russia and it's in the Far East. Does that mean we can hire someone? No, we cannot. Okay. Your attack capabilities here with the penalties to attack are so low that it's like they're doing nothing at all. Okay, we're actually producing rubber now, but it's not that much. We need a lot more. And we have the Italian Civil War. That's very, very, very bad. Because that means we've lost half of our Italian divisions. Okay, things are looking pretty pear-shaped, boys. I'm not going to lie. And we have run out of manpower. Okay, we need to drop from total mob to war con. We got that through a free focus, so more mobilization is going to mean more manpower. Okay, big push into the Cuban region, which is good. Ah, okay, that's really good. We've broken the supply depot, so we've got to push eastward now. However, we're -1 on the spies. And we haven't got a final collab yet. Oh, Germans. Wow, okay, big push. Question is, though, can they take out the French? If the French fall right now, this is really looking good for us, because that means we've got France, we've got the West, and the East covered. Meanwhile, Soviets, 94%. Okay, so it usually just means taking Baku. Air Force is taking an absolute battering. The stats just aren't there. Ah, that makes me super sad. I want to contribute to the world stage, but I can't because I've just not got the production for it. Oh, big sad. As always, make sure you push for the areas they've got supply depots. Here's another example. You can break these areas, you can break everything. Artillery and anti-air versus tank. Who will win? Of course, it is going to be my boyos. The division we've gone with, you're probably wondering, is just this. This is really good for cost effectiveness because the HP is very high. And it's just good, well-balanced division. I wouldn't really risk putting artillery onto a division like this for a minor power. I just lose too much manpower and too much equipment, so it won't be worth it in the long run. School of Aviation. I'm quite happy how big I am on the map, though. Quite impressive, right? I thought on this path you did become a puppet of Germany, but I guess not. I thought you become like almost like a Reich's protectorate almost, but I guess not. Meanwhile, Germans breaking the French in 1941. A little bit late. However, it still checks out. France has capped. That's amazing. And that means the Soviets are gone. I mean, they're literally teetering on right now. 96%. France has fallen. Then we get to recover Italy. Then we take out Greece. Then, well, that's it. We have a new world order. The Finland, Ostland, German axis. This is fan fiction porn. Planes can be improved now. We can go for survivability studies. Aluminium's just the problem, though. 97! Mexico and America have joined the war. Is this a turning point? It's too little, too late, though. Adaptable general. Not seen one of those in a while. Strikes! Get out of here. Come on. Actually, mutinies would be worse. Strikes is okay. Just means my economy grinds to a halt. Yeah, normally at this point, they're capped with a full collab government, but it's because they control Baku. Never mind, I retract what I just said. Doesn't matter. Okay, what is my contribution? 20%? Wow. Okay. Boom. I'm basically going to become the Siberian Ostland. Okay, this is going to create some awful borders. Actually, no, I take it back, actually. I think these actually might be nice borders. The problem is I have to battle for every single piece of land because Germany's like, it's all mine. I'm like, not today. No! No way! This is going to be independent now, isn't it? Who designed peace conferences? Huh? Who designed them? Huh? Yeah, you've created a Russian empire there. Amazing. And it's independent too. Is it Comintern? No, it's the Allies. Well, that's bloody stupid, isn't it? Because now you're going to join the Allies and join the war, and then I'm going to eat you up again. So, can we just right-click into you and go? Yeah, there we go. I don't know why you were waiting. I do like how big my font is. That's nice, right? Ostland. Don't like that I'm the same color as Germany, though. That makes me a bit sad. Oh, that's cute. They did deploy some divisions just in time to see the very end. Deployed 7 divisions. And now they're gone. Does Russia exist somewhere else? No, that's it. That was Russia. Okay. We're going to put the troops where we need them now. One army goes in Italy. Other army just closes this pocket. All right, look at the rubber production now. So much rubber in Ostland. What's really weird is I got a collab state, but I don't gain any compliance. Why? Is that because I'm not the leader of the faction? Oh, that really sucks. I don't usually do this, and one of the reasons why I don't usually do root out corruption, I feel like it's not a good use of spies. I feel like you put a lot of civilian factors into spies to make them good, and you only get this area effect over a small area. I wish it was a proportional amount over the whole region of Russia, but it's not, so here we go. So then the same way we'll get the upgrades. At the same time, I guess we could do local police force, and that gives us a massive amount of guns back. Now the logistics on 2, it's a little too late, because that just helps the front line on the east, not really particularly anywhere else. I did it anyway, whatever. All right, big push. Let's close these front lines. Helping the AI close front lines, this is super important because it helps them micromanage their other front lines. Right now, we are losing this battle because the penalty is big, but remember, they're stuck, so they can't retreat anyway, so they just end up insta-losing. If you can't retreat, it means your division disappears, even if the guy defending has more stats. That is the way it works in this game. Everyone's in position. Do another staff office plan. We've got the doctrines for it now. Another one. Yep. Max the doctrines out. All 71% attack bonus. Go! Liberate the Italians from the Italians. So we have victory over the Italians. It all makes sense. This is World War II. And there goes my Air Force. It did not survive very long. Feels like an OE4. You need to invest everything into a certain industry for it to be effective. Because if you just half-arse it, it doesn't do anything. So you root out corruption. It says it reduces the resistance target by minus 10%. Is that when it's maxed out? Maybe it's 15%? Yeah, it's 15% when it's maxed out. Guys, honestly, hand on heart, I'm really meaning this, and I mean this at the bottom of my heart. I don't think this is very good. I think for what spies can do by building networks and doing collab states, which are the main 2 things they do really well, I think it's not a good use of your spies to do that. Yeah, rooting out resistance only really works if it's over a very small area. Like this massive area of Russia, it just isn't worth it. We got some ships as well. We stole the Baltic fleet. Manpower is a massive problem now. No one is going to request garrison support. Everyone's a straight up no with that. Vichy France? No. Meanwhile, there is still a front line in the Middle East as well with Iran now. Which is something I should take care of. Oh, these front lines aren't connected. I'll help out the Germans here. There you go. That solves that problem. Now the supply is connected. They'll have actual attack power. Boom. And now they'll actually be able to do something. Give it a second. A little bit longer. And there we go. They're actually starting to push. Push! You know what? I forgot about women in the workforce. You know, women in the workforce should be here with laws and government, shouldn't it? I feel like it's in a bit of a strange place. It's a decision. I'm going to get rid of one of the armies here. The manpower is really bad. I feel like I want to get rid of these divisions too, but they're not really helping us, are they? Their stats are so bad, it's just kind of pointless. Go to Riga. Put you in reserve. Put you here. It is time for all adult serve. Bioeconomy. Hello, manpower issues. There needs to be more ways of getting more manpower in Hawaii. It's one-dimensional, isn't it? It's always just your recruitment laws, and that's it. Would make kind of sense, wouldn't it? Oh, they made a push, and they got denied. I've never seen that before. The Russians built a radar station. The Reichskommissariat of Ukraine is now just a single state. And so is... Oh, there's 2 states. Never mind. I'm just the one. All right, we got war economy now. Total mob. So we're going to do women. Issue we're running into right now is these garrison regions are currently always dealing with resistance, and I never have enough manpower to keep this area down. If you look really closely here, you can see I'm using 162,000 manpower, which is almost like 2/3 of my nation, and I need 372 to keep this area down with the resistance. So the only solution is I release Russia as a puppet state, the Protectorate of Russia, known the Axis. And there we get all the manpower back. But the downside is we've just lost all the factories, I guess. And they are considered to be a Reichsprotectorate. So what I could do is I could build inside of Russia, lower their autonomy, and then we can get like a proportion of their land. This usually is the best method if you want to take as much land as possible. The only reason why I'm able to do this in the perfect way is because unfortunately I'm fighting for contribution against the Germans. If I had full contribution, it wouldn't have been a problem. Protector of Russia has got a lot of factories still. Oh, they're not going to know as many as mine. I was kind of a bit nervous that they would have more factories than me, but they don't. Meanwhile, Germans in the Middle East. Okay, I did fix my manpower problems, but then 100k of that manpower went directly into my armed forces. And now, because I'm constantly at war with the USA and Britain, I'm constantly pushing against their front lines, I'm unable to regain that manpower for any decent duration. Let's see, make a push here and see if we can do anything. Oh, maybe we can? Probably not. You know, we get a bunch of manpower as we tick up from all adult serve, and then immediately gets fed directly into our armed forces, and we have no manpower. So I'm able to build an air force here to actually use. I don't want to abandon this front line because I mean Italy's dead. Well, the good news, the Axis AI is steamrolling everything. So is this an Axis win? An Allied win? An AI win? Oh, well, there we go. And China. How's the war going? So we are considered a major power now. We lost 500,000 manpower. Oh, that's so bad. See, as a minor power, you can't afford to lose that level of manpower. However, our contribution is 10%. Is that worth the loss in life? My instincts are saying no. Oh, we have a pocket. Come on, gotta close it. I think in this situation with the issues with manpower and equipment, I think I would have been better off with like maintenance companies over logistics. All right, let's push. I think we can end this. Oh, yeah, we actually can. What's happening here is my divisions don't have a lot of strength, but what's happening is as I push, the Germans and the Italians see that they can win, so they start to push too. And then for the combined arms of everyone, go away, Turkey. We push them completely out. And that is a big win for the Axis. And that practically means Europe is Axis. Boom. It's time for a war against Vichy France, because otherwise we can't push through, because right now we're neutral with Vichy France in Syria, and we can't break through because we can't get through this little strip of land, so we're going to have to declare war on Vichy anyway. But now we have the opportunity to build our air force. So we do this, and now we need a country full of aluminium to produce these planes. But we're producing them now, so that's that. Reels. I guess now you could do with the fuel tanks. Actually, no, you'd want the self-sealing, but that costs a lot of rubber. And yep, that does cost a lot of rubber. And aluminium too. Okay, that's basically the entirety of my industry of my nation now. That is why making an air force is not something you do lightly in Hoi 4. Big pro tip, do not make civvies inside of your puppet nation. Always make civs, because what happens is they only gain the mills as a proportion of the factories that get sent to you. Does that make sense? So if you hover over here, you can see civilian factories to overlords, 25%. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I've got it the wrong way around. If I were to upgrade to a Reichskommissariat, oh, there you go. You gain 65% of your military factories and 25% of your civilian factories. So I was right, yeah. So you just make mills. Don't make civvies. You don't get as many back. And boom, you reduce the autonomy now. And that means I go from 111 factories to 111 to 148. I'm so big. And that's why in this one instance, just this one scenario is better off the puppet over garrisoning. I suppose if you're a major power and you can take the manpower and equipment hit, I'd recommend it. But in this circumstance, it is better to puppet. Do you know what? It's something that I need to learn the lesson with, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit addicted to taking the land and occupying it. I'm hooked. All right, declare war. Italy, I need to join this war. Whoosh. Now, both France is now in the Allies. Yep, join the wars. Ideally, I want to control the aluminium inside of Vichy France. Look how much they've got. It's so much. Look at this. 76, 42, 96. Oh, wow. And they're giving me a massive chunk of land. And the AI blesses you with aluminium. Isn't that great? Surprisingly, though, we're not actually gaining a lot from here. Do we have to wait for it to filter in? No, we're not. Okay. In that case, we specifically say go for harsh quarters. No, it's forced labor. Plus 40% extra resources. Oh, we give an aerodynamics facility too. Means we get radar in 1943. Better late than never, right? And now becomes the D-Days. Okay, let's make an endgame plane. It's going to be this. It's going to look like this. It's going to have a big bomb. I think that's pretty much it. Unless I could put a bigger turret on it. No, I don't want a smaller turret and do the extra fuel for the range. Yep, that's it. That's the plane. Okay, now we broke through Syria. We could break through, take the Suez, control the Med. Raj is gone. We've got an east and west split. Wow, that's a big Siam. Yeah, if there's one thing to take from this campaign, my advice to you is what I should have done here is puppet Russia. That's what I should have done. Yeah. If that's something I can go back and do, that's why I do it again, because I lost way too much manpower through resistance. Let's have a look at the garrison log. For the last 12 months, I lost 3k. Okay, that's not right. There's a lot more than that. I can't go back any further than that. There we go. Suez. Cleared. Clearing out the sewers. Whoosh! Oh, hang on a minute. I don't remember a port being there. Is that new? Have they had that in the latest version? Sail Alamein didn't have a port. because I usually build one there all the time, but there's one here now. Oh, just that wee little bit of an encirclement. And we're going to cap the false Italy, not the real Italy, not the supreme greater Italy of Mussolini. Get rid of the imposter, the council Italy. Sad part is you can't actually create an occupied state. Only Germany can do that. So it'd be kind of cool if I could create a Vichy France here, but I can't. However, I am going to take advantage of lowering resistance by 15% is once again so small, it's not even sure why I bother. And that's technically why I don't use that mission. It's not my favorite. When your nation turns into a petro-nation state, but there is no actual oil there. It's all synthetic. Global warming is now 1 minute to midnight. Okay, it's time. Let's deploy the planes. Boom. Exercise in the day. Turkey has just joined the Allies, but they've got no troops on the front line. You gonna join the war? It's a bit cheeky, isn't it? They join the Allies, don't declare them instantly, and then they wait to put troops on the front line before they declare war. That's very cheeky. Ethiopia has been capped. Their contribution is 21%, but I get nothing. Okay. And then they still exist, so that means they're in the African Union. I think peace conferences need another look at Paradox. I don't think they're working right. Also, don't forget about this. You can reduce resistance universally across the entirety of the world by 5%. So that's kind of like a spy everywhere, but like a third of the reduction of resistance, I guess. Right, level 6 for the mile for the planes. Big one. Vertical integration will reduce all production need, well, resource need, by 10%. Only issue is if you don't meet the requirements, you suffer from a bigger penalty to production. However, I'm okay with that because overall I just want to keep the production cost down and I'm just going to produce more and more rubber at home. In Europe, rubber production in Europe, in the rubber trees of the Baltics. It all makes sense, trust me. Europe is becoming slowly and slowly more part of the Axis. Spain's joined, and now I'm pushing across North Africa. Oh, okay, Vichy France has popped, resulting in a lot of divisions that are isolated. Take advantage of that, though, because remember, you don't really want them to branch out. Supply in North Africa is pretty bad to begin with. Portugal's joined the Axis. They do that on historical now? Wow. Sweden. And Denmark's independent from Germany. I don't know how that's happened. And they're fascist. Anyway, Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland are the only ones in Europe left. Well, we ignore Britain, I guess. Britain in Europe? I don't think so. Brexit forever. Breakfast means breakfast. Okay, we need stability. What you can do is go into here and go political loyalty. Because we've got lots of fascism. Actually, we don't have that much. 50%. Oh, crap. Non-align's taken over. You gain stability anyway. Casablanca! So Vichy France has a weird thing where they have cores on Algeria. So you take them in the mainland and they don't cap, so you have to take North Africa. Ethiopia, I didn't want it a part of me, so I realize I don't own any of this land, so I have to wait for someone to join the war, then I can attack. There we go. Okay, so I just capped Ethiopia, and because I didn't take any land, they're reborn once again. Surely the way the point system should work is they should be redistributed until there's no country left. Ah, this peace conference system. Ah! Oh my god! And they're still around now! The birds are ready. Fly, fly, fly. First we start off with full air superiority. I think the amount of stats on these planes are going to dominate now. There we go. Full air superiority. Ooh, okay. We're being contested. Okay, actually, this is not as black and white as I thought it was going to be. You can see here they've lost 5. Actually, no, that's how many times we're shooting down. That's how many we're losing. What's the problem? Friendly air units lost because our average air defense is lower and their agility is lower and their speed's lower. Oh, wow. Okay, we need to crank up the stats. Okay, this is not what I expected were going to happen. Okay, we need armor then. I guess maybe I could put the heavy bomb on there and then add more machine guns. No, it can't take off. Maybe we just don't do the range then. Stats over everything. Okay, now things have settled down a little bit. I think we're actually winning. All comes down to the amount of raw numbers overall. Okay, Russia's willing to offer me troops. They have 28, so I'll take it. And I will be putting them here. And the Atlantic Wall has been formed. Even really bad divisions do a really good job of holding against naval invasions in D-Day. The AI does a really bad D-Day. It just lands troops randomly, and sometimes it dedicates a few troops to the front line, then it goes, I've changed my mind, never mind. Okay. Naval invasion. We've taken Dublin. Oh, wow. Do we just join in now? I feel like we should. Surprisingly, the naval invasion worked here. I guess it's finally reached the point where we're projecting lots of naval power. In that circumstance, do strike force here, and then we can double down on the naval invasions. What I can also do is click on here, toggle battle plans for our allies, and see if they've got any naval invasions planned, and I can try and bolster their naval supremacy in these regions. French fleet surrenders. Does that mean the Germans have a bigger fleet now? Doesn't look any bigger. The Suez Canal has been blown up. Germany. We need that canal. Okay. We are down to 2 nations in Europe that are independent. The UK and Switzerland. Do I want to declare war on Switzerland? 335 days. I guess not. Paradox were like, no, you're not going to invade them. Fair enough. Germany's like, you know what? I'm going to bypass the UK. Let's go directly for Iceland. It's weird when you turn on allied battle plans because it's like, when you see stuff like this, you're like, what is the AI thinking? Meanwhile, the air war still being contested. No one is particularly dominating. We do look like we're losing more numbers than them, though. Alternative, make planes 10% cheaper. Then we can play the war of who can make the most. Not the better planes, but the most planes. Oh, this is going to have funny look. Britain's dropped 1 Marine. Never really committed to it. And look at all these front lines that AI's made. Oh, I don't know. They're committing now. They're a little bit late, though. Okay, let's start bombing. Half of them, naval strikes. Super curious to see how effective this is going to be. All right, we're hitting things. Are we? No. We're getting intercepted. Well, those things we're losing a lot. Getting shot down by anti-air, which means colliding with ships. So we don't have to really need to sink the ships. We can just do damage to them. And that puts them to port. Yeah, there we go. We've hit loads of ships there. If you go here, you can see ships engaged. Ships engaged. Yep, ships engaged. And that pushes their ships out to allow us to do naval invasion. And there we go. Let's go. Now we put all the planes on close air support and air superiority. Airports. Yep, we need those. Here and here. Here and here. Go, go, go. And push! Oh, look, at the minute I land, look at all these allied battle plans all suddenly just appear. They flock around me when I'm winning, don't they? You're not interested when I'm not winning, but when I'm winning, you care. Everyone wants to just be on the winning side, don't they? Very cheeky, but I'm going to declare a war for someone else. Germany, take out Sweden, please. Another 2,500 planes. Send them to the UK. And here they come. I just don't even care about air superiority anymore. I'm just like, bomb them anyway. Technically should have like at least 1,000 on air superiority because they get like an escort defense bonus. Yeah, do both. Everyone on the front line. Stop off his plan. Do another one. Make it 2. And boom. Well, actually, attack bonus we're getting from this. An extra 75% attack bonus. Nice. The reason why this was so effective is a lot of the time the fleet that's covering the English Channel is also the same one that's covering the Irish Sea. If you knock out the fleet here, you're actually damaging the one here as well, which is kind of a wonky mechanic if you think about it. I got max spies too, and I maxed out my decryption as well. I guess I can finish them off now by releasing the cipher codes. Getting a 15% attack bonus, I think. It might be 15 or it might be more, actually. Something I just very rarely do. 15%, yeah. For some reason, Britain's like, how do they know every single move we're going to do? Ah, because we have your cipher code, sir. Who controls Great Britain? The Ostland. It's kind of why from the very beginning of the game I made so many planes. The plan was always to dominate the Atlantic by using either torpedo bombers or, in this case, close air support. That was always going to be the long-term plan. And that is it. That is the new world order. Boom. Half of Africa has been taken. And entirety of Afro, Euro-Asia, and a little bit of Oceania that's still allies. I'll be honest with you, playing this path is actually kind of fun because it's so different. I expected to be a puppet, so I'm kind of surprised that I made it this far. Because usually you have to Germany saps all your resources, you know, being that you're a puppet. But because you're not a puppet, it works out quite well. The only big lesson to be learned is you don't have a lot of manpower, so be prepared to puppet nations around you, particularly Russia, because otherwise you'll just run out of manpower and it'll be a nightmare for you. Request garrison support, and they say no. How much manpower have you got? Got 1,000 manpower, 1 million manpower, why? I don't understand the manpower setting. Can you somehow boost relations or something? He says no because it doesn't have enough manpower to give to us. That's just not true. That's a lie. Lies. The final result. Beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, see these names on screen? They are also beautiful. They are members of this chat. If you want to become a member, the link is below. You gain lots of cool perks and extras and whatnot. If you want to take advantage of that and be the cool kids club, then click on that link. Apart from that, hope you have an awesome day and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.